YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with my locks of week 4 here every Thursday with this video going over the best bets in different categories. I'll have a Thursday night football prop parlay at the end, and then some other prop options for Sunday, like an early look. We're always talking with you guys on Twitter about this stuff as well. Weekly content listed in the bottom left. Go to our channel, check it out. We have it every single week. We have score predictions, picks against spread for every single game. That video is already up for this week. Follow us on Twitter. A lot going on there. And then our sponsors in the bottom right, Liquid IV GLD shop, code GOAT for a percentage off. We have a giveaway at the GLD shop. They have some sick jewelry like what I'm wearing, NFL pendants and more. Links pinned in the comments for anything I just rattled off here. If you hear any pounding noises in the background, I apologize. People are working on my house, but right now it's a little quiet. So spread locks. The actual lock, which is the Chiefs this week, -9.5 against the Jets. I'm surprised it's under double digits. We're 2-1 on those actual locks. We're 9-5 on the total spread picks from this video on the year. Twitter subscribers, bonus content here. You get some college football parlay bets. I post my tickets on there. But yeah, gonna go with the Chiefs -9.5 against the Jets. It's my spread lock this week. I also, going back to that, they'll score points even though it's a tough Jets defense. We know the Chiefs will find ways to score points. Will it be an insane amount? Maybe not. But their defense has been playing very well. Mainly the secondary has been tight in coverage, and they're playing a Zach Wilson Jets team. So the Chiefs defense looks better than it normally is in different years. So that's another reason why I like them. The Bengals -2. I think the Bengals figured something out in the second half against the Rams. I mean, the pass rush and the coverage really got going. They sent some guys on blitzes. They got Daxton Hill going on blitzes. We're used to Mike Hilton being the guy. That's going to be a problem for the Titans offensive line, who might be the worst in football. And Titans defense is solid, but I think you can throw it downfield on them. The Bengals, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, all these guys will be able to get going. And Miami +3, I have them winning the game, so getting 3 points. Bouncing around 2.5, 3 if you do an alternate line with 3 is the way to go. Alternate lines are really the way to go. And then Jacksonville -3, that one's growing on me. Second home in London. They look bad. The Jags look bad, but the first 3 weeks always tell us lies every year. I talk about it every year. Week 4 and week 5 is we start to really learn things about teams, and I think the Jags are going to start heading in the right direction where the Falcons' passing game is going to be exposed. It kind of already has, but the game plan starts to come out. More of a factor, so I think the Jags cover that, and they win by 7, maybe 10 this week. So those are my spread locks. On to straight up, just who's going to win. The locks this year are 3-0, and we're talking about the Chiefs again. And the straight up picks, so all the picks listed are 11-4 on the year. So the Chiefs against the Jets, again, just the better team. The offense is too explosive for the Jets to keep up. Yes, the Jets can play defense, but the Chiefs also can play defense against a weaker offense there. They will win that game. Then I go 49ers. I like the top 2, definitely more than 3 and 4. I thought about only listing 2, but I listed the 3 and 4 as well. But the 49ers should handle the Cardinals, even though the Cardinals are tougher than we thought. Eagles defensive line presents some bad matchups for the Washington Commanders and Sam Howell, their offense line. And the Cowboys, I think, will bounce back. Tough week, losing Diggs right before the game, like a couple days before the game. Now they're home against the Patriots, who have an offensive line problem. The Cowboys will win the game with that alone. With their pass rush. So I like those 4, and we're pretty good on the straight up picks, especially the locks this year, which we should be though, so not really patting myself in the back about that one. But the upset / money lines, I think we're doing pretty good because I'm forced to pick underdogs. We're 3-0 on the locks this year, and the money line and the rest of the upset picks are 5-3. So anything above 500 looks really good there. This week's a little tougher because the Bills are so good. They could win. I can lose my first lock of the week very easily. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, though. I picked them, so they'll be my top upset lock. And there's not a lot of great upsets because even Seattle and the Rams, they're underdogs in terms of the spread, but in terms of money line, they're actually not. So those are just more upsets with the spread there. But I do like the Dolphins. Their offense is explosive. They can expose man coverage and cover 3. That's what the Bills run. Not that they'll expose it a whole lot, but this is the best offense in football. Waddle should be coming back. It should be an explosive offensive game. Josh Allen should have a good game. The Bills very well can win that game. So it is a gamble this week. But Seattle should just edge out the Giants. It doesn't sound like Barkley will play, but it's close to 50-50. The Giants are struggling. They run a lot of man coverage. They're kind of chasing receivers over the field. The Seahawks have an explosive offense with those weapons at receiver that they can kind of continue their success there, and they can run the football. In the Rams-Colts, a 50-50 game, I think the Rams are a little more explosive, so I went with the Rams winning that upset. But the Colts could very well run all over the Rams and get a lot of pressure because the Rams gave up a lot of pressure from the offensive line on Stafford last week. So that's a little more of a trickier one. But so there's some three, but they're all risky this week, it feels like. Next, we got my over-under locks, which haven't been too great this year. 1 and 2. Total 3 and 3, not atrocious, obviously. I do like the under for Rams Colts. It's at 47. It seems too high. A lot of running clock in this one. The Colts, it looks like you can run the ball in the Rams, and that's kind of the Colts game. Zach Moss has looked good. If Richardson plays, that's going to add more running clock if he runs. But even with Minshew, they're going to run the football first. In the Rams, I thought, kind of went, specifically in the red zone, went away from Kyren Williams, which has been working. They went away from him in that Bengals game, which resulted in sacks and then kicking field goals instead of touchdowns. And the Rams kind of go back, and then they allow a lot of pressure, and the Colts get a lot of sacks. So everything points towards running the football, which means running clock, which means under. And I don't really think there's going to be an insane amount of offensive success getting points. There'll be some, but I like the under 47. That's the only one I have for over-under lock this week. I don't love the other ones. The Vegas did a really good job with the over-unders this week. So that's the only one. I feel pretty good about that one, though. And then my best bets rank, which could create a parlay, which I think have been pretty good this year. And so I got the Chiefs minus 9.5 is my favorite. The Bengals minus 2 are next. And then the Dolphins, I feel more comfortable getting the 3. But if you want to go for more odds and you're already comfortable going into this video, you're already comfortable with the Dolphins winning and you think I kind of convinced you more, then maybe go with Moneyline to get that extra odds there. But I do feel more comfortable with the +3 if you're going. So that's a pretty good 3-gamer right there. But then you see some money lines with big-time favorites if you want to try to add a little bit more odds to your parlay. It won't be much if you just add Kansas City to that unless you have the Dolphins money line. But San Francisco up there as well. Then you see that under pick that I had. Philadelphia money line. Jacksonville -3 we snuck in there. But I kind of focus on the top 3. And, of course, the Chiefs-Niners should be locks in terms of money line. So if you're playing around with your parlay and that adds a little bit more odds to it, then and you feel comfortable doing more than 3, then why not? So I give you some options here. But the top 3 looks like a pretty good one there. Whether you go Dolphins +3 money line, again, a little more comfortable with the money line. And I always suggest come into this video with kind of your thoughts, your picks. If there's some on here that you just completely disagree with, don't bet on it. If you agree or I convince you, then, if you feel comfortable, then do it. So I'll always mention that too. Don't just be like blind betting here. And then for Thursday Night Football, some props for the Lions-Packers game. I like the tight ends in this game, but the top 3 is probably what I'm leaning with here. I do post my tickets on Twitter for you guys to see, and we'll do that all weekend. But Sam Laporta has really been getting going. The Lions tight end, obviously, and they scheme things up for tight ends in that scene. That's why they moved on from Hawkinson. Like, we can bring another talented guy, and it's mainly going to be the scheme on top of his talent that gets him going. So they'll scheme things open for the tight end like they always do, and he's been getting more and more as involved as a rookie. So 4.5 receptions. I like the over. He should get at least 5. I can see 6, 7, 8. 8's a lot, but I could see it. And then the other tight end, Luke Musgrave, the Packers tight end, he's been, I think, evenly productive through 3 games. 25-plus yards seem pretty good, especially given the Lions struggle against tight ends. And you see some other options at the bottom. I'm probably not going to put money on those, but on the bottom. But you see Musgrave again. His over/under is actually at 37.5. I did the alternate line at 25+ with my actual parlay. I think he should get if I had to predict, he should just get over that 37.5 on the over-under, but it is a little scary because the Packers have more weapons coming back. So the yardage I didn't feel super great about, but the 25+ he should get over because it can take 2 catches to get that. And the same thing with the Musgrave receptions where I feel good, not great, because there's so many other weapons to distribute the ball. There's no elite weapon out there. Aaron Jones, if he's back, he's a good one, but so it could be 2 catches for 30 yards or something like that is kind of what I'm thinking. So I do he should, if I had to predict, maybe 4 catches, Those are kind of the ones on the bottom are kind of like ones I think are pretty good. And Laporta, it's kind of high, 42.5 in the over-under yards. I think he should just get over that, but it's a little risky there. So those are kind of the maybe bets. So Laporta, over 4.5 receptions as listed. Musgrave, 25-plus yards as listed at the top. And then we'll add St. Brown in there. I originally put the 50-plus yards alternate in there just to feel very safe, but you don't get that great of odds. It's a pretty big boost with 72.5, and he's been racking up over 70 every game. And him playing from the slot, I think he could give the Packers some problems. And the Lions should be able to air the ball out in this game. I mean, not in like an elite level in this game because the Packers do have a pretty good secondary, but Brown should just get over that. So those are my three favorites. If you really, really, really like some of the other ones I list and you want to go 4-gamer, go ahead. If you want to, I did play around with adding one of those bottom three and then decreasing the St. Brown to the alternate 50-plus yards, and the odds are better with the three prop parlay than the 4. So I didn't really love it, but if you want to go the safer route and you don't really care about big odds, go at St. Brown 50+. So I kind of give you some options here. I could have listed the St. Brown 50+. It goes without saying, though, because I have him 72.5. So those are ones I liked. I was thinking about Love with total total throws, total completions, yardage, but it's cutting it so close with those. But the over on some of those did look somewhat appealing at first glance. But that's what I got. I like the tight ends in this game. St. Brown's always a good choice. I wish that St. Brown over under was kind of where it's a little tricky. I wish it was around 70.5, which usually you see that number. If it was 69.5, yes. I know Monday night, everyone was betting on A.J. Brown from what I've heard, and it was like 71.5. And all of a sudden, right before game time, it dropped to 69.5. So if that happened with St. Brown here, that would be awesome. But I feel like people are going to put money on that. So that, will usually make it go up. So is it going to boost up to 73.5, 74.5? I'm still looking, and this is where the Twitter comes into play, but I'm still looking at the Sunday potential prop bets. I was looking for like Zay Flowers reception totals and yardage numbers. They weren't on my app yet. I use DraftKings at the moment. I was also looking for Devontae Adams numbers, just certain guys that I kind of got to look for, but there was nothing yet. These are things I like at first glance. I have a Colts-Rams little parlay prop I'm really cooking up here. Michael Pittman should get over 5.5 receptions. He's been extremely consistent catching the ball and getting the targets. Zach Moss has been running very well. The Rams, it's not really noticed a whole lot right now, but they're not good stopping the run, and Moss has been very good. 66.5. I thought about the 50+ alternate, but 16.5 more yards for a pretty good amount more odds. I like that. Then Puka Nacua, 50+ yards. I thought about the 72. It was at 72.5, I believe, 71.5. Thought about that. Going against Kenny Moore, I think he'll definitely get over 50. It's going to cut close around the 70 range probably. And I did think about the receptions. Remember the first 2 weeks he got 15 receptions and like 12 receptions. And last week I had money on him getting over 6.5. I think he got 5 or 6. So that was tough. He did play a good slot corner in the Bengals. He's doing it against the Colts. If I had to put money on it, he probably gets over 6.5 this week, but that was a little risky, but that's something else to throw out there. I do really like that 3-manner, that 3 prop bet, parlay bet for the Colts. 2 Colts, 1 Rams, same game. And then I like 2 Pollard options in the Cowboys game. I think he'll get over 70.5. I think they'll lean on the run more so than the pass. I think he can run for 90+ easy in that game, and I think he'll score a touchdown. He's getting a lot of carries, just looks in general in the red zone, a ton. And last week when the Cowboys were kind of pushing to make that comeback, a very important red zone trip, Dak had an awful interception, so they may go. They're not going to lose trust in Dak, obviously, but they may go, hey, let's go what we know and love here with running the ball, or just even slip screens, getting the ball to Pollard. So I think he'll score as well. So I love the Pollard one. It's only a 2-manner for right now. We're gonna look more, research more, and then that's a good reason to follow our Twitter. But I do like the Colts Rams one as well. So these are just early instant thoughts for Sunday. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. If you have some you disagree with, some that I'm missing, you think. I'm always all ears here, especially on Twitter. Links pinned in the comments for our social media sponsors, giveaway, recent videos, things like that. If you haven't, go to our channel, check out our recent videos for week 4. You will not be disappointed. And remember, we have it every week. We'll be adding some trade deadline and draft videos throughout the year as well, playoff predictions, things like that. It's going to do it. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.